Yo, what is up, guys? Joker here, bringing you another video for the 3.26 Mercenaries of Trathis League, going over my league start currency making method that I use to farm over 100 div. So let's get into it. The first thing that we did was get a 100% chance for June to show up in our maps, because previously I speculated that all flames were going to be incredibly strong, even though GGG said that they nerfed them. So we were focusing on farming Syndicate for the all flames, as well as I figured that the reworked Syndicate was going to be pretty strong, and it turns out that I was right. So what we did is we went through here and we grabbed the 100% chance for Syndicate, and then once we had all the 100% chance for Syndicate, we started going and grabbing all of the Scarab nodes. To my surprise, GGG did a really cool update this league where they made Scarabs drop in stacks of like 3 and 4, and that made me an incredible amount of currency, because for whatever reason, a lot of Scarabs show up as 1C on like the trade site and stuff, or on Awakened Trade, but they're not actually 1C. You can put them in the auction house and you'll see that they're like 3, 4C each, especially the more commonly used Scarabs, right? The things like the Legion Scarabs, the Essence Scarabs, the Strongbox Scarabs, those were about 3, 5, 6C each, and they're still about 3, 4, 5, 6C each, which means that when you get a drop of these Scarabs, you're getting anywhere from 10 to 20C just as a drop. So that's the first thing we did. We focused on Syndicate to farm all flames, and then we focused on getting all of the Scarab nodes to get a better chance at Scarabs. Betrayal is incredibly strong this league, even if you don't know what you're doing. There's a bunch of really good Syndicate guides out on the internet, and the methods still work. It's only the rewards that changed. So if you don't know how to run Syndicate, I'd recommend going to watch one of those videos. I can make a video on Syndicate. I'm not the best at it, but I can go ahead and make that Betrayal video if requested and just show what essentially I was doing. TLDR is going to be put whoever you want wherever you want. You want a specific type of reward, put them there, because the main thing that you're going to be benefiting from is going to be the all flames and like the Syndicate medallions dropping, the veiled chaos orbs that drop very regularly, right? Those are going to be things that you get naturally for running any safe house, regardless of who's where. You get veiled chaos, you get the Syndicate medallion, and you get all flame just from killing the guy in the safe house, right? The bonus loot that you get from the chest is just the cherry on top. Speed running a couple of people. If you have Haku in intervention, you get ambush scarabs. If you have Janice in research, you get Kadiro. If you have Tora in research, you can make level 18 and level 19 20 quality gems. If you have Guff in research, you can make reflected jewelry, like the Doriani jewelry you see everyone buying to do the negative 200% lightning res tech on their mercenaries. If you have Rin in transport, you get scouting reports. If you have Gravicius in transport, you get div cards. If you have Corel in intervention, you get essence scarabs. If you have Ithed Fled in research, I believe it's research, you actually, no, I think they changed it to fortification. You get empowered breach stones. If you have her over here, you get breach scarabs, and then a bunch of people, you just get niche loot. Like, as an example, if you have pretty much anyone in research, they'll do some kind of crafting mechanic. I can show you a piece of gear, right? As an example, this helmet is something that came from the safe house, where essentially it has the influence on it because it allowed me to slam it with a Conqueror's Orb, and it has a Hinakora's Lock on it to allow me to view the next thing that would happen. And we have sold a bunch of this veiled and crafted gear for 50, 60C, which is pretty impressive for just random gear that I've thrown into dump tabs. On top of the All Flames and the Syndicate medallions, like I've mentioned, we haven't sold any of our Veiled Chaos Orbs because we've actually been using them ourselves. And for whatever reason, they are not on the current. They put them on the currency exchange finally. Okay, that's really cool. The first couple of days, they were not on the currency exchange, so that's why I was just stockpiling them. I may actually sell them now, right? So that's the first thing. Farming Syndicate and Betrayal is going to get you a lot of currency. The other thing that I've always been a supporter of, I've always said Kirac is underrated. I've made multiple Kirac videos saying do your Kirac missions just back when they were normally giving you like Guardian maps, right? I said do your Kirac missions, and that's never been truer than this league. The old memories are now enchants on maps in Kirac, and they're fairly common. I'd say that I've done 20 and I cycled through maybe 300 scouting reports. That may sound like a lot, but the rewards that you get from these are insane. I don't know if they buffed them or what, but the Sacred Grove one on average was giving me about 1,000 of each juice, which is like 100C, and that's just 100C for the map, right? And then the Harvest Beast map was giving me anywhere from 150 to 300C, depending on the beast that showed up, because the minimum Harvest Beast that I was selling was like the Brambleback, I believe it is, and they were selling for like 50C. But then you have like the Bristle Matron that was selling for like 150C. So Kirac missions are incredibly strong. If you cannot handle the memories, right, you can go ahead and sell the scouting reports themselves, because scouting reports are 3 to 4C each now because how strong Kirac missions are. So you're going to want to go ahead and, at the very least, if you're not grabbing commissioned officer, grab the expert reconnaissance to go ahead and drop more scouting reports. Altars are really good. Eater altars are just significantly worse than Exarch altars now, in my opinion, because Eater altars, the quantity and the rarity got separated, and generically the loot that you get from them is just significantly worse. Where Exarch altars still has the altars that gives you quantity and rarity. It has scarab dupe, it has ambush scarabs, it has what else does it have? It has a bunch of gumball currency. It has chaos. It has glassblower baubles. It has GCPs, right? It has a bunch of good gumball currency dropping for you. In addition, if you can handle all the extra mobs in this Tides is really neat because it's giving you just the whole bunch of additional mobs, right? You're just getting a whole bunch of beyond mobs that are spawning and dropping you tainted currency. Tainted fusings are 35C each now. They were a lot more previously, but tainted chromatics are 4 to 5C each. The tainted exalted orb 14, right? Tainted jewelers are actually even saying that they're 2C each. So the tainted currency is actually decent money. It's like when it drops for you, it's like a few extra C, which is really good in conjunction with like the scouting reports and the scarabs and all these gumball currencies that you're adding up. One more thing that I did want to mention is, for whatever reason, a bunch of scarabs say that they're 1C on the awakened trade, but then if you go to sell them, they're actually more than 1C. So make sure that you always do price check them in the auction house as well as the awakened trade. I don't know what's going on with the awakened trade macro and why it's showing every scarab as like 1C, but there are a bunch of scarabs that are like 3, 4, 5C each. And once again, because they drop in stacks, you're getting like 15, 20C per drop. And then Glassblower's baubles are what, 1.7, almost 2C each. You have the GCPs that are pretty much 3, 4C each. You have the Enkindling Orb and the Instilling Orb, which are not that much. Earlier on, they were a lot more, but they're still like 3 to 1. On top of that, one thing that I see a bunch of people doing is not picking up 6 sockets. I don't have any more right now. I don't know why. Oh, I think I just sold them. But fusings are actually relatively expensive. They're 3 to 1. So it's going to go ahead and add up to a decent chunk of currency, because that's essentially for every 300 fusings, it's 100 chaos, right? And that may not sound like a lot, but it takes literally no effort to pick up a 6-socket item. Let's see. Is there anything else that I wanted to go over? I believe that was the gist of it. That's everything that I've been running and how I farmed over my first 100 div so far in the Mercenaries of Trathis League. We should probably have our headhunter here in the next day or two. I was really hoping to get it finished by the first week, but we invested more into our character than I was originally planning. We just kept making upgrades, and then we found the really cool tech, so we had to recraft some of our gear. But that's pretty much it. If this helps you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. And stop by Twitch. I'm going to be live hopefully every day. I'm trying to stay consistent with it, right? Twitch.tv/Joker_Khrono. And I can go ahead and answer any questions or help you out if needed. Also, I believe we still have a couple of days for the subs for the portal effect. You can do subs to any streamer. You can sub yourself and then gift a sub and get it, or you can gift 2 subs and get the portal effect. It looks pretty decent, right? But yeah, like I said, that's it. Until next time, take care.